Well, hello once again, everyone. Another Music is a Journey video. I am Peter Scove. Let me tell you what's going on here today. So first of all, this is the absolute last day of my 9 days off work. From tomorrow morning, I go back to work. Not that I haven't been actually doing any work because I have about 5 or 6 different jobs. But anyway, that's not the point. Point is I'm going back to my main job and this is all getting shaved off tonight. So I thought I'd do one more video. Now it has been actually a very exciting day. We watched as a thunderstorm over there and a thunderstorm over there moved together and then just came right over our house. And for about an hour we actually had to just unplug the TV, unplug the Wi-Fi, unplug the computers and everything because we had lightning flashing all around. Love to share some of that with you, so I'm going to share some of that with you now. This is a view off our veranda, looking over to the neighbor's house. Look at that fascinating sky. I mean, I could have stood out there. Actually, the funny thing is that I was standing out there watching this and I was recording a video, and then one of the people I work for called me to tell me something about the job that he needed me to do, and I was standing there watching all this lightning coming down going, I wanted to record that. I did manage to get this one here though, late in the evening after the storm had passed. Here it is. You know, lightning is best viewed. Videos of lightning is best viewed when it's slowed down to 10%. So let's just take a look at this lightning flash here. Isn't that lovely? Gosh, yeah, I gotta admit, I do like storms. I do find them very exciting. We get some really nice ones here in Saitama, Japan. So on with the video. All right, right now, I actually have one video that I edited that is being prepared to be uploaded to YouTube shortly. I have another video that I recorded yesterday, which I haven't even started doing anything with yet. And hey, I'm recording another video. So what happened was I was cleaning up some stuff and I found this paper where I had written down some kind of random ideas for future videos. And I don't remember if I was actually going to just pick like one idea and then pick a bunch of albums to talk about, or if this was going to be a band and then I was going to like pick an album from each of these. But looking at it now, it actually strikes me as I've written 12 things down here. I'm going to just use 10 today, but it almost looks like a mini vinyl tag. So I participated in the Vinyl Tag 2024. I did the summer vinyl tag, but I actually wrote these things here last summer before I knew anything about vinyl tags and contests and challenges and all that whatnot. So what I've decided to do, based on this concept of a whack-a-mole where you just randomly select something, I'm going to do a bit of a challenge. And I might be able to do this again sometime. So I'm picking 10 of the 12 questions here, and they are the first purchase of a band, the most recent purchase of a band, favorite album of a band, an album of a band that I don't remember well, an album of a band that I dislike, an obscure or unpopular album by a band, a classic old album, this could be just any classic old album, a very good recent album, that's most recent purchase, no, very good recent album, recent, I'm going to say like within the last, what, 10, 15 years, and I'm going to skip, actually non-English album, I have non-English album, and I'm going to skip 10 and 11 and go straight to 12 here, an unusual album in my collection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these CD boxes and randomly take an album out and see if it fits any of those criteria. If it does, I don't have a pen here. I have to get a pen. If it does, I'll check it off. And if I reach a point where I can't check anything off, then, yeah, what is it, 10 questions? Yeah, I'm going to try with 10 boxes and see how far we get. So if I can't check anything off or I've already checked something off, it doesn't count. Let's see here. So I've already picked one box here now, and I'm going to choose something randomly from this box. And what I am drawing out, is this one album here? Is this one CD? Yes, it is. And well, by coincidence, I'm just like preparing this video. So this is the album, second album by the Colin Tench Project, and yeah, a couple of videos back, if you see my video talking about Sonya Mota, the artist Sonya Mota who did the artwork here, yeah, this video includes that, and the very first Music is a Journey video is about this album. So let me just see here. First purchase of a band, no, this would actually be my second one I got, and actually they were given to me. Most recent? Okay, well, I guess it would be the most recent purchase of this band because, well, it is guitarist Colin Tench. He did 3 albums with a band called Corvus Stone. He also was part of some other bands, as I explained in the Sonya Mota video, as well as in episode 1 of Music is a Journey. But this was his second and final album as the Colin Tench Project because shortly after this was released as a digital download, he died of some heart failure or something. So this is the most recent purchase. Well, actually, I didn't really purchase it, but most recent acquisition then from the Colin Tench Project, as well as Colin Tench himself, because yeah, this was the last thing he ever did. So I'm going to check most recent purchase number 2 gets circled, and we move along to another box. So I'm not going to choose any boxes that have bands whose discographies I own a fair chunk of. I have some where I have the whole studio discography. I have some where I have a lot of them anyway. What I'm doing is picking boxes where there are assorted bands and there are 1, 2, 3, at the most 4 albums by any one particular artist. So let's reach into this box, and I think, I'm not sure, is this modern prog stuff? Randomly, pick this one. This one. Is it 1? It's 1. And this is, oh wow, okay, so this is Elder. Elder Innate Passage. Where did I get that from? I'm gonna have to find out where to put this back. So yeah, Elder, I just bought this. So at the end of 2022, I was checking what were some of people's top picks. I think I picked like 6 metal albums and 6 prog albums. And I think it was out of Prague, a lot of people named this one. So I decided that was one of the albums I would get at the beginning of 2023. And so yeah, I picked this one and I really like it. I had Elder on my watch list for a while, and there was an album of theirs that kept floating around on my Amazon cart, but I ended up getting this one, Innate Passage, and I really, really liked it. So let's see here. This, I think they started out more as a kind of maybe doom type band, but they have gradually evolved into a more progressive type band. Anyway, I think this is a great album. So let's see here. Well, favorite album of a band is the only one that I have, so I don't think... How about first purchase of a band? There we go. This is my first purchase of Elder because there is at least one more album I want. And if I really like that one, I'll probably end up getting a third one as well. So yeah, my first purchase of a band then will be this one. This is Elder Innate Passage. And I'm going to put this one. Why didn't I put the other one back in the box? Put this one back in the box now. Okay, it's all right. I know where the other one goes. All right, that's box 2. 2 circles. I didn't circle. Circle. There we go. Next box. There once was a time where I organized all of my CDs in these boxes and I had them all labeled so I knew exactly what was in, but twice now I have reorganized things because, you know, for example, I might have had 3 bands in one box and then I just got more albums by 1 or 2 of those bands, or even all 3 of them, and then they didn't all fit in the box anymore. I had to move them around somewhere else. So a lot of this stuff is just kind of like, well, there's no room for this anywhere else, so let's just shove it all into one box. So let me see. I actually don't even know what I picked this time. I didn't see any of what was in here. So what have I got? This is Meshuggah, Destroy, Erase, Improve. Okay. So, this is the only Meshuggah album I own. I kept hearing Devin Townsend talking about them when I was really into Devin Townsend, and I thought, okay, I've got to get them. But which one should I get? And there was Rolling Stone's top 50 metal albums of all time, and I believe it showed up on that list. Although there was another list that included a different album. Something Sphere now? Maybe Chaos Sphere or something like that? I don't remember exactly. So I was trying to choose between the 2, and I ended up going with this one, which I have listened to probably twice, and I don't really remember much about it, but I've been thinking I've got to listen to it again. So this is a reminder to myself that I have got to listen to this again. So Meshuggah, where am I going to put this one now? I've already done first purchase of a band, so that's out. It's also my most recent purchase, so that's out. But I'm going to, okay, Don't Remember Well album. I really don't remember this album well. I can't remember any of the songs on here. I got this probably about 7 years ago now, and I've only listened to it twice, and that was about 7 years ago. So okay, an album I don't remember well is this Meshuggah, Destroy, Erase, Improve. And time for another box, and time to let the cat out of the room. Let's see here. Don't remember when album. Okay. Yes, Kurama! I'm coming to help you. Okay, see a lot of these boxes, the way they go in, the CDs stick out from the side here, so I can't actually see what they are from the top. Some of them don't do that. Some of them, the CDs go in with the spine facing upwards. So here we go. This is box number 4. And again, I'm just randomly pulling these. I'm not actually looking at what boxes I'm taking. Better hold this spot with my finger this time. Ooh, so here we go. This is the Daisy Anthesis. I think they just go by the name of Anthesis now, or Anthesis. Surface and the Sky. So this was an album on the Diminished Fifth record label, which was based in, was it Nova Scotia, I think it was, or possibly New Brunswick. I think it was Nova Scotia. And I did a video about Diminished Fifth probably back in 2022, early 2022, or maybe it was 2021, I forget. I've got a video. If you go to my playlists and listen to these artists, scroll down on that playlist and you can find a video about Diminished Fifth Records. I feature music from a lot of the bands who released albums on that label. And they're all metal bands pretty much. So this is a kind of, what is it? It's a progressive metalcore, I guess. It's pretty intense music, but they've got some nice riffs in some of the songs here, and some pretty slick moves there too in the kind of progressive metalcore department. So the Daisy Anthesis, Surface and the Sky. And I guess this would probably go under an obscure album or unpopular album, because I don't think the bands on Diminished Fifth, most of them really didn't go anywhere outside of the East Coast. Most of them. So let's put that one under question number 6, obscure album or unpopular album. Let's go with obscure, the Daisy Anthesis. I don't even know if they have any other albums other than this. And this when does this go back now? This goes back some years, probably like 2011 or 2008 or somewhere back around then, because Diminished Fifth Records, I think, packed it up in 2015. Okay, so obscure album. Let's cross off number 6. We're doing 4 for 4, and let's go to another box. Okay, here's another one with the spine sticking out the side. So looking at it directly from the top, I don't know what I picked up. And I'm going to choose maybe this one. I seem to be getting digipacks here constantly. No jewel cases. What do we got? Okay, so this is Tomb Mold, a old school death metal band, although recently they've been getting more progressive. But I think this is their 3rd album, Planetary Clairvoyance, Tomb Mold. So at this time anyway, I think there's still more of the old school death metal style. This is a band, I think, out of Ontario. So this probably means I've picked up one of my, I guess the other one was the same too, Canadian metal random band boxes, whatever. So let me see here. Tomb Mold. What am I going to put it under? Very good recent album? Well, okay, this is not their most recent. That came out last year. This is their 2nd most recent. Can I put it under very good recent album? It's not my favorite album of theirs. The one before that, I forget what it's called now, but anyway, that was my favorite. So I guess I'm going to put it under very good recent album number 8. That's Tomb Mold, Planetary Clairvoyance. And how recent was it anyway? I can't see. It's probably around 2018 or something like that. Right, very good recent album, but not the most recent album. Do you think I can get away with that, or is that kind of cheating? Should it be the most recent one? If I'd gone one over one way or the other, I would have gotten that most recent one. But anyway, let's move on to another box. Okay, actually, some of the boxes now are ones that I know, like it has AC/DC, Black Sabbath, and Led Zeppelin in it, or it has Judas Priest and Iron Maiden in it. And some of the other ones are really short, like one of them is a box of various Japanese bands, so that will obviously be a non-English album. So instead what I'm going to do is not take from this shelf, because that's all one Japanese band. I'm going to pick one from the shelf down here. That's the right one, isn't it? Okay, it's the right one. I want to make sure I didn't grab one from the shelf up here. And let me see what I get. Oh, here we go. This is Band of Rain and The Dust of Stars. This was the first Band of Rain album I got, and I got it because my friend Gore Bennett plays a guitar solo on this album. But I have since found that I like a lot of Band of Rain stuff, and Chris Gill, the guitarist on here, and one of the main composers of Band of Rain's music, probably now basically the man behind Band of Rain. He and I have since become friends on Facebook, and I've bought a couple of other Band of Rain albums through him. As well, I have done a feature video on Chris Gill talking about his life story in music, as well as featuring samples of music from Band of Rain, as well as some other stuff he's done. So yeah, and this is actually a really cool album. He actually was going to let Band of Rain go to rest, but he has since started working on new material. So there should be a new Band of Rain album coming out sometime soon. But what am I going to put this on? Okay, favorite album. Perfect, because of the 4 or 5 Band of Rain albums I have, this one here actually still remains my favorite. There's one they did called Svengali, which was actually originally not a Band of Rain album. It was, I forget now, Chris Gill and... the other guy, I forget his name now. The other guy who was a principal composer of Band of Rain's music. But recently I don't think he's involved in it anymore. But yeah, they originally released it under their names as a project, but then it later got changed to Band of Rain. And that was a really good album. I have the download. I haven't got the CD yet. But anyway, I'm going to put this one under my favorite Band of Rain album. I really like this. And again, listen to these artists. The Music is a Journey playlist you can find. I think it's video number 4 or 5, as well as some other ones, 1 or 2 other ones I've talked about Band of Rain. So favorite album, question number 3. That's hitting, 6 for 6 so far. Okay, then I still got a couple of boxes I could pull, but I'm going to do something from this shelf over here. Now this is mostly 70s stuff, 70s rock or 70s prog, and I don't know exactly where this finger is pointing. It's here. It's hit. I hit something. What did I hit? This used to be the death metal section back here, but I've since moved it elsewhere. All right, here we go. You see what it is before I see what it is? It is, wow, look at that, it's Tarkus. Okay, Emerson, Lake and Palmer Tarkus. And Tarkus is probably one of my favorite Emerson, Lake and Palmer tracks. But a classic old album, there we go. We got another hit, classic old album. Okay, so I suppose that was kind of cheating because most of the stuff over here would be classic old albums, although there's probably some obscure ones in there too. But all right, I wasn't thinking about doing that as a cheat thing, right? And I didn't go directly to the Japanese box for the non-English album. So classic old album is Tarkus by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Okay, I happen to know that the battery and the camera is flashing. So what have I got so far? That's 7. So let's see if we can do 2 more and at least reach 9 then. Maybe I'll skip the last one. Which was the last one anyway? Unusual album in my collection. So we're looking for a non-English album and an album I dislike. There's not going to be many of those dislike ones. So picked another box. If I dislike it, I probably don't even have it anymore. What have we got here? See, 10 Years After, Space and Time. I like it, and it's in English, so no hit there. Bummer. 1 strike. All right, I'll try one more. Or should I just call it quits there? Now let's do one more, just for the heck of it, just as a kind of last chance. Let me try to do one more before the battery dies. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a non-English album or an album I dislike. I think I just caught a glimpse of one of the albums over here, and I know that the last one here is a non-English album, so I'm not going to take that one. I know what it is. It's a Russian album. And it's mostly instrumental, too. So what do we got? Mars Volta. You know, this is what? Die Laust in the Comatorium. So I've only listened to this once or twice, and I think it's all right. Had I picked there was another album of theirs, the very first one I got, and I tried and tried to get into it, but I really could only like the first track. So if I'd picked that one, it might have been an album I disliked, but I think I've removed it and put it in a box of albums to seriously consider getting rid of. So this doesn't count. This doesn't count because as far as I know, I'm still saying that's okay, it's good enough to like, and as far as I know, it's all in English, so looks like this time here, well, okay, it did start out as 10 questions, and it looks like I got 7 out of 10. Maybe I'll try this game another time sometime. Not like I don't have lots of ideas. But that was my fun little game for today, and my last video of my holiday, because within about another half an hour or so, this all goes until Christmas time. Okay, everybody, hope that was kind of fun. Thanks for watching, and see you around in another normal video then in a little while. Okay, cheers all, bye. Hi everyone. Okay, let me explain how to play this game here because I was really trying to figure it out as I went along. I started out with one idea, I finished up with another idea, kind of lost. So here's how to play. First of all, you make a list of 10 items here. As I said, I had like first purchase of a band, most recent purchase of a band, favorite album of a band, an album I don't remember well, etc. You make a list of 10 as you would for a vinyl tag or a thread or a challenge or whatever contest. And then you randomly draw out an album, say a couple of words about it, and then you try to see which of the items on your list it matches. So for example, first purchase of a band, that was my number 1 item. I could then cross off number 1 and say this album was my first purchase of that band. Then you draw another album and you have to check off another item on the list. Once you have an item on the list checked off, you cannot match another album with that item. So for example, I pull out another album that is my first purchase of a band, I cannot match it to that one. I have to choose another item on the list. So you keep going until you have a miss. That's where you draw out an album and that album doesn't match any of the remaining unchecked items on your list. You cannot match it in. For example, I had a non-English language album. Every album I pulled out was in English, so I didn't have any matches for that. So yeah, if I had like 3 or 4 items left on the list and the album I pulled out couldn't be matched to any of those, it counts as a miss. So you get one more try after that. And of course, you can keep going until your second miss. Once you have the second miss, it's game over. So in my case here, I managed to circle 7 of the 10 items on the list, which means I got 7 out of 10 points. I can play this game again. I will actually in a few weeks. I'll do this again. I'll make a list of 10 new items, and once again I will randomly pull albums out from these various boxes. So you can do this any way you like. If you want, you can give yourself 3 strikes or 1 strike or 0 strikes. You can have 9 items, 10, 12, 5, 7, whatever you like. I think 10 is pretty good because you get a score out of 10, which, you know, is pretty easy to figure out. And it's also fun because I had this list and I was thinking how I could use this list for a video, and the vinyl tags, the contests, the challenges, they're fun because, you know, you have to try to find albums in your collection to match the criteria and then talk about them. And I liked this idea of the whack-a-mole. I think it's a fella named Maisie who was doing this, and it was used in the summer vinyl tag, so you just randomly pull an album off the shelf and talk about it. So I thought that was a good idea, so I thought it might be fun as a kind of game to put those 2 ideas together, and that's what I've done here. So that's how you play it. Make your 10 items, pull out an album, match it to an item on the list, keep going, you make 1 miss, and then go until you get your second miss, and then count up how many points you got. Okay, and it's a fun way to just, again, you know, randomly draw albums out of your collection and take a look at them, and maybe albums you haven't listened to for a long time, you might feel like listening to them again, or, you know, just re-familiarize yourself in random shots with your music collection. Okay, that's it. That's how to play. If you want to make your own attempt at this, please do let me know somehow. Either send me the link in the comments of this video here or tag me in your video. It's not a thread, it's not a challenge, it's not a contest or anything like that. It's just a fun idea if you know, want something to do for a video. So yeah, let me know if you make one. I'd like to see it. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. See you in another video soon. Bye.